Hi, I'm Eric Jorgensen. I'm the Vice President of EMEA for Zendesk. I think human interaction will always be a key part of positive CX interactions. So I think what we see with our report and just with our industry trends in general is the number of interactions everyone is having with their financial services providers is increasing. So the question is not, am I going to replace human interactions with digital interactions? The question is, can digital interactions help me deal with the volume and sort of simpler, lower complex issues should be dealt with digitally. Higher, more personalized things could be dealt with in a human agent, but that human agent should also have an AI assistant that's helping them to navigate all the things they need to do. So I definitely sort of feel like, yeah, we don't expect to see human agents being completely replaced. What we actually expect to see is this constant growth in interactions and probably a leveling off of the growth of agents, because the digital agents will help deal with the, say, high volume, low complexity requests we've got. And then, there are definitely times where I still want to speak to an individual. I mean, I recently remortgaged, which was a somewhat painful experience with what happened in the last couple of years. And I could do all of this pretty much online with my bank. So that was great, but I still went to the mortgage advisor I dealt with previously. Like I emailed, I didn't call, but I still just wanted to hang on, just be double sure. Before I click this button, I really just want to make sure that I am clicking the right button, I have understood it correctly. And so I still wanted, in that sort of scenario, to be, interacting with someone that I'd had connection with previously, because this was I'm not doing this all the time, thankfully, but when I do it, I want to have that reassurance of dealing with a human. So I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see digital agents taking some of the load on the simpler requests, and we're then going to see AI assistants to human agents, helping them understand that, well, Eric came in, went on the bot, went through this journey. The bot told him to go and do this. He's done that. It's not worked. He's come back to us. He's called in. He doesn't want to explain from the very beginning what happened. So the agent will then be massively, hopefully, empowered to say, "Oh, great, right, yeah." We've all had it where you sort of dial into or you call into a contact center, and they say, "Well, just can I put you on hold whilst I read through the notes for 3-4 minutes?" Okay, a little bit irritating for the consumer, sort of not the most productive use of time for the agent as well. So the ability to condense that, put the very key information in front of the agent, just gives that perception of quality, but also just saves everyone time. So we think that AI is also going to empower those traditional channels of communication, not replace them completely. And I think it does massively, right? And I think, as much as we talk about AI and these things, and clearly that's been a big revelation and new capability in the last couple of years for us all. But even prior to that, Zendesk was all about customer conversations through multiple channels. So the idea being that if I've WhatsApped you on the train, I got to the office and sent you an email, and I called you driving home in my car, I shouldn't have to start each of those interactions as if it's the very first time I've spoken to you. So we've identified that as being a key thing for delivering, strong CX experiences for many years now. So the digital agents and bots is just an extension of that says, so the interactions I'm having digitally, my expectation is that I don't have to repeat that to an agent. So that handoff between digital to human and back again, I think, is an absolutely key element to ensuring the success of what we're seeing, and that the return on investment that financial services organizations would expect to receive, but no trade-off with that quality. So I think that's a really key element of that handoff, and that providing as much data and context and continuity, so that, again, I feel like I'm in a journey. Like I may well want to know, and I probably do know, that when I'm talking to, especially now with digital agents and generative AI bots, I am dealing with a bot. I know it's not a live chat that connects, I wait 5 minutes, and then I'm interacting with someone that's trying to manage 10 live chats at the same time. I know that's not the case, but I still want to know that the data and the interaction I've had is shaping the journey I have when I go through to a physical agent, and I'm not having to start again. So that handoff, I think, is key. It's been key for years. I mean, I was at a conference a few weeks ago, and as part of my presentation, I talked about when I was an agent, and again, it was quite a few years ago, in a credit card protection contact center down in Portsmouth, which probably some people listening to this may even know who they are. I remember on my first day thinking, wow, this is so complex. Like, how on earth am I ever going to be able to do this? And like, it's like any new job, and I still find myself doing that now sometimes. You sort of get through the first few days, and suddenly you start to pick things up, and suddenly it starts to become relevant to you. But that was one channel. That was purely voice. And thankfully, I had a lovely lady sat next to me that sort of guided me through that. I think now, with the multitude of channels that we expect agents to deal with, and the multiple of systems, and the complexity of the systems, and the complexity of the data, actually AI and these sorts of roles will help reduce the amount of training time required by providing them with new sets of data, new sets of information, but hopefully in a format and a process and a screen that they're used to. So it doesn't become a brand new thing, it just becomes something that's helping them. And that help means you don't have to figure out how to log into that other system to go and get the data. The data just comes into your screen, comes into your interaction as you're going through with the end customer to improve the service you're delivering to them. But also from your side, I mean, you haven't got to learn multiple systems to go and find this stuff, because we're presenting that in context with you when you need it. So I think that's hopefully a benefit to the agents, and also a benefit to the handling time and the customer experience they get of having, again, not having to be put on hold whilst I go and log in somewhere else and find that data for you. So that I think is another area that AI is really helping us with.